28 times pi minus the radius of a circle divided by the length of a field is 100 yards. But if we scored 6 and 6 in the first half, that is definitely 12. Then Hoban got 6 and they made the extra point, which was 13. Okay, so that was 13 and 12. But if you have an extra point, it could be 1. But if you're back farther, you can't throw and get 2 points.
There's so much to do. Why can't I find out how to do this Tiger Talk? Now I know how Nate feels. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, what is going
on? The light, the extra points.
Scott, have you been here since Sunday?
Becca, what are you doing here? What day is it?
What's that smell? It stinks in here. What is wrong? What is going on?
Is today? It's Tuesday already? But do you understand the score? Do you understand they said it was 30-22, Becca? That's what Hoban said. We scored the touchdown. These are our scores. It equals 32. And they made me change it to 30. I have to figure it out.
The game is over. We won. You need to let it go.
Wait a minute. Maybe they don't teach math at Hoban. That's it. Bet they know 7-2 though. Welcome back to Tiger Talk. I am here with number 1, right?
Yes.
Number 1, Denasia Adams, who had an incredible game against Hoban. What was your favorite play of the game?
Okay, my favorite play of the game is when we were down by 12 and we came back with our first good touchdown. It really helped us build up momentum, be able to push forward to get our big win that we did against Hoban.
What did you feel when it was 12-0? Were you getting nervous?
I was getting a little nervous, but I just really had to depend on my team. I knew that we weren't gonna go down like that. So I knew that we were gonna really pick it up together, which we did, and get the win.
So up to that point, no one had scored on Hoban all year, and then they go up by 12 points.
Yeah.
So how did you guys score the first time? What happened?
The first time, I'm pretty sure Neela got the score.
I think it was Nina.
I think, yeah.
And didn't she broke a long run, right?
Yeah, it was a long run. Yeah, that really helped us get the momentum because it was cold, really cold on Saturday, and I don't know, we just playing slow, not making smart moves with the flags.
I've been to a lot of cold Tiger games, and that was the coldest I ever was, ever.
It was 30 degrees.
I was freezing.
It was so cold. It was terrible.
Now, what do we do when one of the co-hosts is late to recording? And what do they think? They're just going to waltz in here when it's time? They're just going to waltz in whenever they want? Is that how we do it on Tiger Talk?
Look at this amazing hat from Liberty Printing.
I know.
Isn't it amazing?
It is. And this hat is also from Liberty Printing, as
this.
Our shirt.
Hey!
So we are very pleased with 2 out of the 3 shirts because leaping tigers do not exist in Section 14.
It's
world.
a flying tiger.
It don't matter. It can take a flying leap off a bridge for all I care.
Yeah.
Okay? It's of no interest to me. We're having we have a little technical difficulties here. Hold on. Tell us what kind of player Denasia is.
Well, she's an all-around athlete. What I love about Denasia is not only does she let her work on the field do the talking, she also does the work in the classroom too. So she's a high GPA, above 4.0. Plays 3 sports.
What other sports do you play?
I play volleyball and I do track.
And what's your favorite?
It's between this and track. Track is a little bit harder.
She has been running with me since youth track.
Yeah.
So she's
been
been
4th grade.
So I've known her a long time.
When were you most afraid of Coach Becca Moore? There was no time? I don't believe that. There wasn't one time she let loose on you and you were a little afraid?
I don't think so. You always been pretty welcoming.
Yeah. See,
So,
look at that.
yeah.
Some people like me.
I'm afraid of her always.
Do you know what? She's a worker. Listen,
Oh,
so she
that's
doesn't
the
need to be. That's the difference. You know, she doesn't have to be afraid. She's all. You ask her to do something, and she does it. She understands. She shows up before time. You know, it's never on time. She's always there before. You know, all around. This is the kind of athlete
and you
want.
got that from your coach, right? Who's always there on time, doesn't show up late.
Yeah.
Okay, we got to get to the controversy.
Okay.
Do you know about the controversy that happened at the Hoban game? That's good. You were an athlete. You were out there. You didn't care what was going. You were playing to the last play.
Yeah.
I was in the middle of it. Finally. So the first week, I didn't really like how the scorekeeping went because you couldn't really tell what was going on. And to be honest with you, I went up to the refs at halftime and asked them what the score was, and they said they didn't know. And luckily, I had been keeping score. And then, so we got a flip score
From
thing
Liberty
from
Printing.
Liberty Printing
Thank you,
again,
Liberty.
who
They
are
support
sponsoring
us.
us, and we really appreciate it. And, you know, the thing about the coaches on this show is they just keep coming.
I'm going to step
They
out.
keep coming. Come on in, Sam.
Yeah.
No, you.
Yeah.
We got a room for all three.
Oh, there's
You
a
can-
camera. Great.
Yeah, come on. You're on Tiger Talk. We're welcoming. I would say Sam Hackenbrack, but I know that's wrong.
It's Sam Keirns now.
That's never wrong.
It's never
It's
wrong.
never wrong.
Yeah.
Once a Hackenbrack, you can't get away from it.
Right.
So we're talking about the scoring. So this week we had a flip score, and me and my son Alex were keeping score. We were flipping. We would ask, "What's the score? What are we doing?" And we felt pretty confident about it, especially Massillon score, because they scored 4 times and they made 1 extra point, and then they scored again and they made the extra point. That's 32 points, I'm sorry. Hoban had 22 points, and there was only 1 minute left. It's 32-22, Hoban. There's 1 minute left. You can't score twice. Well, then we're on the sidelines and we see the Hoban coaches talking to the ref. And they're looking at our scoreboard, and they're looking back, and Alex and I are like, I think they're talking about us. So the ref came over to me, and he said, Hoban says it's an 8-point difference. That's the first thing. They don't say a different score. They say it's an 8-point difference. And 6 and 2 is 8, so they have a minute left. They have the ball. They can score and tie the game.
Yeah, because they scored 6
And
points.
I
they go for
knew
2,
there's
it's
no
8,
way
yeah.
if Massillon made an extra point, it could never be 30. It's an impossibility. Math doesn't work that way. So I changed it because I learned from Nate Moore, you never argue with refs. You just do what they say. He's never lost his temper once.
He did make them pull the rule book out, though.
And so we changed the score, even though we knew it was wrong. And what does Hoban do right away in the last play of the game?
They threw an interception.
Threw an interception, Massillon recovers, and they lost. And no, they're not going to comment. This is coming from Section 14 guy. Hoban tried to cheat, and I don't like it. So I'll ask you, what are we going to do about scorekeeping? How are we going to be sure this doesn't happen in playoffs? There's
Well-
nobody there to really get the score, I don't think.
We're going to keep track of it on the sideline, and we're going to be extra sure of the score so they can't even try.
I think, too, like, one of the things to understand is that it's 6 points when you score, and then you go for 1 or you go for 2. And I think the refs are still kind of learning that. But the other thing to know, just so you know the rules, if they would have tied us, it would have been a tie. There's no tiebreaker, so that would hurt us in the bracket. So that's why it is kind of important to know the score, because if we win, we want to win. It doesn't, we don't want to tie because that hurts us in the bracket. So our goal is to get as high in the bracket as possible too when it comes to playoffs. So I think that they'll clean some of that up just because of you and
Well,
other
I
people.
mean, I'm not going to let it go. I'm telling you that right now. Because we were not 100% sure about Hoban's score, although it would have still been within 1, because it is hard to tell when they make 1 or 2. And I think the refs should do this when they score. They should do touchdown for 2, and they tell the score out that way. But you didn't even know. You weren't even thinking that they could drive and win, or did you
No,
think
'cause
you won the
she
game
knew she was gonna
when
win.
we scored and went up 32, or?
I knew my team wasn't gonna. We weren't gonna let that big of a difference really like come back because my team we're hard workers. We're not gonna let that happen. We're not gonna let that happen.
Sam, tell us about the JV team. They won 30-0. Who was some standouts? What were some great plays? And did anyone try to cheat the score on 30-0?
No, nobody tried to cheat the score, and if we would have kept score, we really would have won by like 60. And to be honest, everybody stood out in our game down there. I mean, everybody was making plays. Everybody was having success. It was really fun. I could tell they had a lot of fun. So.
And I felt they truly dominated. They played Akron early. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Akron early.
JV.
It was a JV versus JV, but they really and truly dominated that team. So what do you have to work on practice when you dominate like that? Is it hard to get the kids to be excited to play this week, or do they think they've got, I mean, she beat Hoban, JV went undefeated, unscored upon. How are you going to motivate them?
I mean, I think that they're always motivated to win for the most part. I mean, it's kind of in our blood and DNA here in Massillon, to be honest. So I think they will be focused on their own. I don't think we'll have to push them too much, but we'll see, I guess.
We do like a film study on Monday night, and Sam came this week, and I went last week, and I think I've learned a lot as a coach of how important like watching film is to kind of tweak things that we can get better. Or like if you're coaching on JV, you can kind of see the field better because obviously her and I never played football, but she's a D1 athlete for Ohio State, so she brings a lot of experience of breaking that down and how to be competitive. So I think that's important too.
Now, Sam, if you came home tonight and your husband had painted a tiger on the living room wall, would it be Obi or would it be a leaping tiger?
Oh, man.
It's a flying tiger.
My husband, I'm not sure, to be honest. My dad, I know for a fact, would be a leaping tiger.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What about you? Do you have an opinion on the leaping versus Obi? Do you prefer one over
I prefer
there?
Obi.
Obi?
Yeah.
Right answer. Thank you. Becca?
I do love the Obi, but I want to give tribute to a lot of the supporters, so that's why we did both. Because we have supporters that love the flying tiger.
It's the leaping tiger. I never heard anyone call it the flying
Coach
tiger.
Moore corrected
What
me.
about, have you ever heard anyone call it the flying tiger?
I have not.
It's the leaping tiger.
Okay, I'll go with Hackenberg.
I mean, it's the leaping tiger, and
but
it's
this
no
Obi
good.
is the Obi we love.
Please, in the comments section, let us know. Leaping tiger versus Obi, and come on, it's Obi. So, Denasia, tell me, you're getting ready to play, you're going to listen to a song, you want to hype yourself up. What song do you think you're going to listen to?
A song?
Yeah, what song gets you really ready to play? Maybe it's for track, since you said you love track. Do you listen to music before you
Run? No, I don't listen to music before I run. And normally, in the locker room, we'll all listen to like the same song. Like, they'll have somebody
Well, what if they
on
let you
aux.
pick it? They were going to let you pick the song this week. What song would it be?
I'm more of a dancer. It's probably like a old dance song, like
Benny Goodman?
any Goodman.
Yeah, lost me there too.
That was for the three of you at home that are older than me.
I would say that's a hard one. I don't know.
Maybe Dua Lipa? No? That's a bad answer?
Yeah.
I like to dance to no rules.
I would say like it's an old one, but like Hit the Quad or like just on that beat, something like that. Something
Okay.
like to give you a movement.
All right. What about you, Sam?
That's funny because I've been thinking about my answer. I have two answers. So my dad, when I was little, and I was really little, when he would take me to travel games and stuff and big games, stuff like that, he would turn on Eminem, Not Afraid, in the car, and he would sing it to me at the top of his lungs, and it just became like our thing. And then on big game days at our house, he would get out the big speaker at we're talking like 6 o'clock in the morning, every big game day, football games, softball, all of it. and he would turn on Eye the Tiger, and then he would turn on Not Afraid afterwards. It was just like, yeah, it was his thing. So definitely those two.
I love those answers. We're going to listen to all of those this week and maybe have a special Benny Goodman section, which it's not for me. So who's a teacher at school that really motivates you and you want to give a shout out to that teacher for helping you?
I would say Miss Di.
Why?
She's my journalism teacher, but she's overall just a very good listener. Like, if a kid needs help, she'll listen and try to do her best to help the kid as much as she can. And like, she's understanding. Like, she's not one of those teachers just gonna brush you off. She'll like keep checking up on the problem, making sure everything's like going her way.
And are you interested in being a journalist?
No.
Okay. But you're taking a journalist class?
Yes. But like to help with my like writing and speaking. Like,
Okay, that makes sense. All right. So what do we have this week? I know it's our first away game. Becca, what do we have going?
So we're actually going to play Akron Hoban again. Again. Yeah. And then Akron East, who we played. Yeah. So really when we come back on the 20th, just so you know, that's when we're playing like Glenville, a team from Cleveland. Like that's when we're going to get really tried again. So, I mean, this will be good because we're getting on the road. So the girls will get a chance to be on the road. We're actually moving some girls up from JV, so they'll get a chance to travel to and see that, and it's going to be fun.
So JV doesn't play this week?
JV does not play away. Nope, they will play at home next week and then the following week.
And what if someone wanted to go? Where would they go and what time?
So we'll have to post that because they just sent us. Well, if I look on my phone here, actually, I can tell you where it's at.
So Sam, what's been the most fun moment of coaching so far?
It's all pretty new for me, I'm not gonna lie, and I'm glad to get this opportunity to really, it's just completely different than playing as an athlete, and you don't really realize it until you're doing it, how different it is. So it's been an adjustment for sure, but it's a fun one. Like, I'm really enjoying being on the other side of being an athlete because now I can be in control a little bit and not be the one who's always getting yelled at and told what to do. So, but really probably just seeing it click for girls and watching them have fun and get to grow and enjoy, and as a female athlete for sure.
I like it. So what'd you find out?
So we're at Joseph B. Yost Stadium, 309 Wolf Avenue, Akron, Ohio. So Joseph B. Stadium, 309 Wolf Avenue, Akron, Ohio.
At 10 a.m.
And
Sunday?
then I believe our first game is at 10 a.m. and then we play again at 11:40. So.
And you play Hoban first?
No, we play Hoban second.
Okay, well, I'm not going to be there because I'm on assignment for the next 10 days. So I need someone to step up and keep score and watch them. Because what we have come up with, they don't teach math at Hoban.
My gosh.
Which, what are you going to do? I don't know if math's important because you got a phone. You just type in the dooba-dooba-dooba
or you
and
say,
it tells
hey,
you.
Alexa, what is 5 plus 5?
Hey, Alexa, do we count extra points when Massillon scores them? We do count extra points. Thanks, everyone, for watching, and keep supporting girls flag football. We're having a great time, and we'll see you next time.
Until next time, TIG.
ERS.